All right, what is going on, guys, and welcome to the Greek Cod Podcast. My name is Jack Duffy. I am your host, and welcome to a brand new episode. Today, we are going to be talking about American-made mower brands, and the reason we're going to be talking about them is because President Trump just enacted a sweeping global tariff on most countries on this great, beautiful planet for imported goods to the United States. So, what does that mean for us? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. All right, guys, I'm going to pop a little Zimbabwe in, a little 6 milli wintergreen up top in the shop. So, let's get into this. Let's talk about mowers. Let's talk about lawn care. I'm going to roll up the sleeves because you know what I'm saying, right? Let's talk about mowers. American-made mowers, specifically America. Let's talk about them because these are going to be game changers, right? Possibly game changers. We'll see how it goes. But right as of now, these could be the best options moving forward for business owners within the lawn care industry because they are made in America. They're not going to have the tariff on it, right? Sure, the cost may go up a little bit. Everything's going to go up. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but everything's going to go up. Eggs are going to go up. Groceries are going to go up. Hell, hammer costs are going to go up. Tools, homemade or house material, all of these things, lumber, all of it's going to go up. So take that with, take that for what it is, right? These tariffs are going to cause a problem within our economy. I'm not going to lie to you. Political, we don't talk politics here. But I want to talk about this because this does affect our businesses. This does affect what we buy within our company and what's going to be the best purchase moving forward for us in the long term as lawn care business owners, right? And also you residential guys, if you are somebody who just is checking out the channel and you're a homeowner, right? And you're looking at what mower should I buy? Because like if I buy something that is like a Honda or something like that, right? It's going to be more expensive. And I need to know which is American made and which isn't. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's get into it. Numero uno. The number one, and we're going to start with commercial mowers. Okay, so this is more for, because our subscriber base is more lawn care dudes who own businesses, who want the commercial grade, to get all of their accounts done in the week, right? We want that commercial engine. We want that commercial grade machine. So we're going to talk about those first. Then I'll mention the residential mowers brands that are more known for residential that may creep into commercial eventually, but more known for, your residential homeowners that you can buy like Home Depot and things like that. So let's get into it. Numero uno. Number one, the probably top of the list when it comes to cut quality, machine quality, fuel usage, engine size, the multitude of options when it comes to machines, Exmark, right? Exmark mowers are pretty much the bread and butter of American-made mowers. They've been around forever, right? They've been around forever. That was the mower that I actually learned how to mow on, right? I ran a Turf Tracer Exmark 48-inch. My dad had one from his commercial days when he was mowing, and we just used it at our house, and that's the mower I started my business really with. So I've ran Exmark. I've tested and demoed a few at our local dealers. Great riding when it comes... Pause. Great riding mower when you're on the machine. It's very comfortable, very, it has a great suspension when it comes to the bouncing on the machine. So, and the cut quality, you can't beat it, right? I think there's only one brand that I'm going to mention that is probably closer to, and maybe because I'm more biased because I have this in my fleet, but Exmark, so they are produced in Windham, Minnesota, which is obviously in the United States. So all of this is going to be manufactured within the United States. All of these mowers are going to be sold in the United States and manufactured here, which is important to know because that means they're not importing things within their company from other places, such as parts. That means that, so if they import pulleys or belts or whatever it is, they won't import them from other countries to build their machine. So their cost won't go up because they're not importing those goods into our country. The only thing that I will say as a disclaimer, and this is kind of an important one, is I'm going to do some research on the fly here for you guys. So I wanted to know if Kawasaki engines are made in the United States. So here's the reason why this could be a potential problem if you have Kawasaki engines on your mowers or if you're buying Kawasaki engines. The reason that I'm mentioning this is because they're an option pretty much for all the brands that I'm going to mention today. And I want to add this little disclaimer on here that the Kawasaki engines are a Japanese company. So you have to know that going into it, that there could be an effect when it comes to the engine cost that is being put on your Exmark American-made mower. So that's just a disclaimer for most of what we're going to be talking about today. There are other options such as Vanguard and Kohler. I don't know if Kohler is an American brand. I'm going to do, again, some research right on the fly for you guys. It looks like Kohler is an American brand. Now, Kohler versus Kawasaki, personally, I prefer Kawasaki engines over Kohler, but it is an American-made engine, so the cost may go down for them for if you were to buy a Kohler engine on your Vertex or something like that from Exmark. So the last one that I'll look up is Vanguard. They are made in the United States, so they're manufactured in the United States. So those two options, Vanguard is going to be a bit more pricey because it's a bigger engine. It has better fuel economy, right? It's going to be a higher horsepowered engine, so it's going to cost more off the get. It cost more last year, it cost more the year before. It's going to cost more in 2025. So just those disclaimers for the 3 engine types that mainly are ran on these machines. So Kawasaki will probably go up. The other two will probably stay pretty much where they are. So Exmark, we're talking about Exmark. Here is the thing that I will note on Exmark. Exmark walk behinds, so the turf tracers, right? Those kinds of machines are made in Mexico. Mexico got a 10% tariff on them, so those mowers may go up in price. But all of their zero turns and stand-on mowers are made in the United States. So, again, I'm giving you guys the details on this, and do with it what you will, and choose which is right for you, and look at the pricing as we get into this. But I'm just kind of mentioning what may be your best option. As far as cut quality and machine quality, Exmark is top tier. I mean, it's probably the best of the best, in my opinion. The only other brand that I will mention is the second one that I, again, use within my company, and I'm a huge fan of, and we will be running from here on out. But Exmark is a great option. Their price point is a little high, but you get that investment back when it comes to the cut quality and the length of time that that machine will last you, if you take care of it, of course, right? If you make sure the machine is upkept and you know, make sure that it's still within running condition and doing the due diligence that you need to do when it comes to taking care of these machines will last you a very, very long time. So you get that initial price, right? That sucks, but over the course of the time, it will give you back what you put in. So plus some probably. Exmark, great brand. Check them out. Again, I'll leave all the links to all of these brands that I'm mentioning in the description below for you guys to look and navigate which mower you would choose. So number 2, let's get into number 2, and this is the one I've been mentioning as probably the other top tier mower in my opinion, and that's Scag. Scag mowers are, I've fallen in love with Scag ever since I bought my V-Ride 2 last year. This mower has bailed me out so much. It's made my company so much more efficient, and we as a company have talked, the guys love them. You know, I'm just leaning more toward getting that as our fleet, right? Getting more into the Scag fleet with a zero turn that we're going to be buying. I don't know if we're going to get a Turf Tiger or not, but we're kind of debating on which mower to buy next, if we go completely stand on or if we go one zero turn sit down mower. I've made a podcast about that. You guys can check that up on the card over here somewhere. You guys can check that podcast out where I talk about the pros and cons of stand-ons versus sit-downs. But Scag V-Ride 2, in my opinion, is one of the best machines out there that you can buy. Obviously, they just came out last year with the XL version of that, which means you can get it in a 60 and 72-inch deck, which is awesome. Again, all of these are made within the United States and manufactured in the United States, so this is huge. And their walk-behind mowers are also manufactured within the United States. So that is one thing, if you guys are looking for a walk-behind mower, that will be more beneficial versus Exmark, which is made in Mexico. So Scag is made in many different places. It looks like Mayville, West Bend, Beaver Dam, and it's basically all in Wisconsin. So these are all, and Scag is owned by a parent company called Metalcraft of Mayville. So that is a company that owns Scag that is also United States based. So Scag's a great option. It's a great option. Again, the price point is what you're going to be paying for, right? The top tier mowers are going to be more expensive right off the get. Like I mentioned before, they also offer the 3 engine types that I've also mentioned, which is Kawasaki, Kohler, and Vanguard, or Briggs and Vanguard. So those are your options when it comes to that. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below. Scag, though, top tier with Exmark. Great, great brand. I've fallen in love with them. And I think most people in our area, in my area, let me know in the comments what you guys are running, but also what other people are running in your area or what's more readily available in your area. It's usually in our area, Exmark or Scag, right? Those are the big two that everybody runs. Some people run Toro, but most people run Exmark or Scag. So let's talk about probably the most popular American brand when it comes to equipment, agriculture equipment, mowers. There's songs about it. There's t-shirts, hats. There's mailbox things that are John Deere tractors. So American-made John Deere, right? This is one of the biggest brands probably in the United States and maybe even the world, because a lot of what John Deere makes is mainly tractors and agriculture equipment that they export to other countries for their farming needs, right? So John Deere is the other big one that I will mention on this, and because they do offer lawn care equipment, and that's the other one in our area that I've seen a lot of guys run is John Deere, because it's readily available for our area, right? There's 4 different John Deere dealerships within our area, and personally, I've never ran a John Deere. I know a bunch of guys who have John Deere and absolutely love them. It is all made within the United States, so it looks like from what I'm reading, their lawn care equipment is manufactured in Tennessee and Wisconsin, and their agricultural stuff is made in Georgia and Iowa. So those are all United States. They're all United States located, so all manufactured within the United States. It's a American-made brand completely through and through. So John Deere is another great option. A little pricey again. You're buying the name more so for John Deere, but know that going into it. Again, same thing, 3 engine types, the Briggs, Vanguard, Kawasaki, and Kohler. So John Deere, another great option for you guys if you are interested in American-made mowers that are top tier. So let's get into some other ones. The other one that is more well-known that I see a lot of guys on YouTube and TikTok and things like that run, and that is actually a company that's owned by Briggs & Stratton, which makes the Vanguard engine, the Ferris mowers, right? Ferris mowers, from what I've seen online, I've only ran Scag, Exmark, and Kubota. I've never demoed a Ferris. I want to. I really want to. So Ferris, if you're watching this, I would love to demo one of your machines. And I'll make a video for you guys if you want. Self-plug a little bit, but whatever. I just love watching videos on Ferris. Even their own YouTube and TikTok, I love watching it because the cut quality looks so good. And they are an American-made company, which is great. I love that there's so many options for us lawn care guys from brands that are American made. And with these tariffs going into place, this is huge and good news for us as business owners, knowing we're not going to be paying an arm and a leg for imported goods, right? Versus like somebody who has cars and things like that or deals with cars, right? Cars, a lot of it's all imported, right? There aren't many American made cars anymore, right? There's Ford, Chevy, Dodge. Give me another one, please, in the comments. I don't know. I'm a truck guy. I don't know cars. But mower-wise, there's a ton of options, and Ferris, from what I've seen online, is another great option. So these are all American, right? And their walk-behind mowers are also made in America. Another great option for you guys. Cut quality looks insane, and I want to demo one. I really do. I really want to try one. I'm trying to find a dealership in our area that would have a Ferris that I could just demo in one of their yards that they have. Because I might buy one eventually. Who knows, right? Like, I've fallen in love with just watching content around Ferris machines. And they really have a great cut quality, which is what we're looking for, right? As lawn care guys, we're looking for that cut quality that we want for our companies and for our customers. Okay, I'm going to mention 2 that aren't as readily available, at least in my area, but I've seen them online, and I've seen that they are making more of a presence known when it comes to commercial grade mowing. And these are 2 brands that, first of all, their names are awesome, right? Like their brand names are cool as hell. And the other one is I want to try them. Like, I want to try every brand. Even though I said that I'm probably going to only run Scag, I want to try every brand because as a lawn care guy and business owner, you want to know what's out there for in your market, right? What you're going to be using, what's going to give you the best cut quality for you and your customers, right? You want your customers to be happy. You want to get the best cut quality for the turf that you're mowing, right? I've seen a lot of great things about these two brands, but they're not as readily available as, say, an Exmark or Scag or John Deere, right? So these two are both American-made brands, and they are Bad Boy Mowers and Spartan Mowers. So Spartan Mowers, from what I've seen, everything that they do is manufactured within the United States. From what all my research has shown, they literally do everything within the United States, which is awesome. I love to see that. But I haven't seen many out in our area. And I want to see more of them because if you look at the pictures, like look at this picture of the Spartan mower. That thing looks tough as hell, dude. Like I would love to ride on one of those. A blacked out mower with a little bit of orange in it. Orange is my favorite color. The tires are badass as hell. It's a badass looking mower, right? Like it's badass. And the Bad Boy mowers are also badass looking, right? They're cool as hell too. So look-wise, they are sexy as hell, right? But do they give the same cut quality as Exmark and Scag and those kinds of guys, right? I don't know. I'm curious to know. If you guys run a Spartan or a Bad Boy mower, let me know in the comments. Does it match, the Scag Exmark brands, right? The cut qualities and the machine quality. Does it match those? Because I want to demo these kinds of mowers. Like I've mentioned before, I as a lawn care guy and a business owner want to know what's going to provide the best cut quality for my customers and get me the best fuel emissions and fuel economy for us to get everything done within a day, right? Where we're not spending an arm and a leg in gas to keep refilling the mowers, right? For me, I want to test these mowers out. So these are two American-made companies. Let me know in the comments if you guys have these mowers. What's your opinion on them? Are they worth the price versus like an Exmark or a Scag? So I'm curious what you guys, I want to have a conversation in the comments below about mowers and mower brands, especially the American-made ones, knowing the tariffs are coming. So, all right, guys, so post-edit Jack here, I want to just mention these 4 brands that I had forgotten to mention after doing some more research after it. I felt like I was forgetting some of these American-made brands that I've seen out in the field or just online on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook. I've seen these brands and they're high quality just as much as the ones that I've mentioned before. And I just want to kind of touch base and give you as much information as possible. That's what I base this podcast on for the most part when I make videos like this. So let's get into these 4 brands. So number 1, Toro. Toro is an American-made company that I completely forgot about. I don't know why I forgot about Toro because I see them all the time when I'm out mowing. A lot of guys run Toro in our area. They're very readily available at dealerships. One of the dealerships that we got our Kubotas from, they also are a Toro dealer. So Toros are mainly readily available throughout the country. They are a great brand. I personally want to demo some of their, demo their multi-force, I think it's called, or multi-task, something like that, stand-on machine that has all the different accessories that you can attach to the machine, such as a plow, a mulch bucket, things like that. I really love that machine. I would love to test it out. It is a higher price point, but yeah, Toro is definitely another one. Another one is Hustler. Hustler I've seen a ton of in this area. It's starting to become more popular as one of the dealerships just started selling Hustler equipment. So that's another American-made brand. It's one of the oldest, I think. 1964, I think they started. So that's another big one that I had just completely forgotten to mention. So Hustler, another great brand out there. And sticking with the yellow theme, Wright Mowers are also an American company, which I don't know the year that they started. I think, okay, so it says Wright Manufacturing began manufacturing mowers in 1997. So a little bit earlier than Hustler was, but yeah, Wright is definitely another solid brand that you guys could get if it's in your area. That's another American-made company. I think their headquarters out of Maryland. So that's another option for you guys if you want to stick with the yellow theme, if that matches your brand. Another one is Gravely. Gravely is another American-made company. I don't know the year they were started, but that's another solid choice. I've seen a lot on TikTok and Facebook of Gravely content from other, maybe you guys out there who are uploading to YouTube or TikTok. I've seen a lot of content around Gravely mowers. I don't know if there's a dealership in our area. I haven't seen many out. I know there's a few guys that run them in our area, but not many. So Gravely, another one that's American made. So those are the 4 that I forgot to mention. And the nice thing that I just want to say, as you guys can see, there's a ton of mower brands that are American made. So I don't know if these tariffs are going to affect the lawn care industry as much because there's so many American made companies. The things that we're going to have to go in more in depth on research wise is where they're getting their parts from. So to build these and manufacture these machines, are they getting parts from Japan? Are they getting parts from China? Are they getting parts from Germany? Are they getting parts from other parts of the world? That'll make the price go up if they're importing those manufacturing parts, such as pulleys or the engine or the belts, those kinds of things, or even the steel. We don't know what's going to happen with the steel prices. So those are all things that we're going to have to do more in-depth research as these tariffs start to hit to see what's going to happen when it comes to pricing with these mowers, even though they are American-made mowers. So lastly, for all you guys who are homeowners, right, who are just checking out the channel because you love your lawn care, you love you maintaining your lawn, you want the best mowers, maybe not spending the commercial price point for one of the ones that I just mentioned, right? What are some brands that will do the job that are more readily available for you, and maybe you don't need the same fuel economy that us guys who cut 20 to 30 properties a day, maybe you don't need that kind of price point that you want to be paying for just one of your homes, right? You don't want to be paying a $13,000-$14,000 mower, right, if you're only cutting one lawn, right? I get that completely. And a lot of the things that I've mentioned, all the brands that I've mentioned, they have residential mowers. Don't get me wrong. They have them available. But some of the brands that are more known to be more residential homeowner mowers that are more readily available at, say, like Home Depot or Lowe's are these. So these are for more of you guys out there who own your homes, who just love maintaining your lawn, and what's going to give you the best cut quality. So number 1, probably the most popular, Cub Cadet, right? Cub Cadet is pretty much mostly well known for being the homeowner residential in between of commercial grade mower and residential mower, right? Cub Cadet is trying, from what I've seen, to make commercial grade mowers. I think they have, and again, I would love to demo one of these mowers. They have a few stand-on, I think, options now, which is really cool. And they have electric mowers as well, which is something that I'm also interested in trying out and seeing the comparison from a gas engine to what a electric engine, when it comes to length of time of battery, right, charge, versus a gas tank, right? I want to know what that is, and I would love to demo them. But Cub Cadet, all made in America. They have a bunch of different options, whether it's the regular zero turn or the ones with the steering wheel that's just a riding mower, or a walk behind, or a self-propelled mower. They have a ton of options. You guys can check them out in the description below. Like I said, they have a bunch of stuff as well, like plows and baggers and things like that for your mowers that you can get as accessories onto your machine. So these are more readily available when it comes to like Home Depot or Lowe's or Tractor Supply, things like that, right? So this is a great brand. You know, I highly recommend it for any homeowner out there. They're like, I've gone to Home Depot before, and they're all right out front for you to check out. And John Deere has a few too out there too. So John Deere is another option when it comes to homeowner. But Cub Cadet is probably the most popular for homeowners out there. Going into the next one, this is probably the other bigger one is Husqvarna, right? Husqvarna is pretty well known when it comes to residential mowing. They have a lot of riding mowing options, which has the steering wheel, but they do have zero turn options as well as, and they also have walk behind mowers, another American made company. So a lot of the, where they manufacture their stuff is in South Carolina and Georgia, from what I'm seeing. And also their walk behind and self-propelled mowers are all made within the United States as well. So another option for you homeowners out there, and this will probably be the last one as I wrap up this video talking about mower brands. Again, if I missed any, leave it in the comments below and give me your review on these mowers that are American made. Okay, we're looking for American made, not any imported machine brands, right? Like Honda or things like that. Ariens is another one. Now, Ariens is more known for snow removal, like snow blowers and snow brushes and things like that. That's what we actually use for our commercial snow blowers within our company. We have 2 Ariens snow blowers. We'll probably get 2 more this coming season. But Ariens also now has mowers, and that's something that is great because Ariens is a great company, right? They manufacture great high quality products, and they have push mowers, self-propelled, and riding mowers. So all an option. And they do export also to the United Kingdom and Norway, from what I'm reading, at least research-wise. But mainly, it's in the United States. It's all made in the United States. So that wraps up our video for today, talking about these mowers, talking about American-made companies that will maybe give you a more beneficial price than if you were to get an an imported mower brand that like a Kubota or something like that, right? So these are all great options, and the nice thing for us lawn care guys is two of the best top-tier mower brands in our whole industry are American-made when it comes to Exmark and Scag. So, like I said before, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions and reviews on the mowers that you're running within your fleet that are American-made. And what are your thoughts on these tariffs? You know, how is this going to affect your business? I'm curious to know. And as a bonus, I'm going to mention something that I think is really important also for us lawn care guys, and I want to bring this up on my computer. Weed whackers, trimmers, edge trimmers, and backpack blowers, right? Is Echo made in the United States? Echo is an American company. So just so everybody knows, it is an American company, and it sells a lot to North America. So Echo is a very well-known company, and that's what we run when it comes to our backpack blowers. We do have a Red Max that we use as well, which I think is owned by Husqvarna. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they're owned by Husqvarna or something. It's one of the two. But Echo is an American-made brand. We run all of our weed whackers and trimmers are all Echo brand. The other competition when it comes to that is still, no, they are a German. They are a German company. So Echo is American made, still is German. So have that on hand when it comes to what you're buying. Still will be imported. Echo won't be. So know that. However, from what I'm reading, though, still is also, there are things that they're trying to make within America, but a lot of those parts are going to be imported to build those machines. So just know that going into that when it comes to these tariffs. So that wraps up today's episode. I appreciate you guys checking this out. I want to have a conversation down below about mowers, about brands, about these tariffs, and how it's going to affect our businesses moving forward. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, what you guys are running in your fleet, what you may possibly be buying when it comes to these tariffs now moving forward. Again, I'm running mostly Scag. That's going to be basically our bread and butter moving forward within our fleet. I may want to demo a few options, like I mentioned, Ferris, Bad Boy, and Spartan, and maybe get into Exmark. We'll see what happens, but it goes with our brand when it comes to Scag. Our logo is orange mowers. When it comes to branding, you should match what your logo looks like. That's just my personal opinion. So we're running mainly Scag, which is awesome for us because they are an American-made company. But I want to know what you guys are running within your fleet. So thank you guys very much for checking out this episode. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Be sure to leave a like. It really does help us out with the algorithm. And subscribe if you love lawn care and landscaping as much as I do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great spring, guys.